Hey guys, what is up? Sam or Scorpio here, bringing you guys what is going to be the first of many different Apex Legends videos coming to the channel soon. I'm going to be bringing you guys top lists and strategy guides that will be able to help you get a lot better at this game. It's a game that I've been absolutely in love with lately. I think it's an incredible new battle royale from Respawn. I think they've done a great job. So what I'm sitting here doing today is ranking every single legend in the game. We have 8 in the game as of now, 6 unlocked by default and 2 that you unlocked by earning legend points. I have had a chance to try every single character now. I've gotten enough playtime to give you guys my proper ranking of every character based on their abilities and generally the strategy for them. So yeah, relax, enjoy the video, and let's get into this list. So coming in at the number 8 spot as the worst legend in the game, we have Mirage. Mirage is one of the characters you actually have to pay for by earning either legend points or just buying him with real world money. And unfortunately, he's just a disappointment and in my opinion isn't worth it whatsoever. Going over his abilities quickly, his passive ability is that when you go down, he will automatically drop a decoy and cloak you, making you invisible for 5 seconds. It's just an utterly useless ability realistically, because when you go down in this game, it's very rare that you're getting immediately finished. It's usually you're going to be waiting some time before they come to finish you, by which point that 5 seconds is up and you're going to be perfectly visible. So that ability feels useless. The tactical to send out a decoy, which is like a holographic version of yourself that it's designed to distract other enemies, but it's just not useful. It doesn't look realistic at all. It's emoting even. It just doesn't fool anybody. And even the ultimate, which is just a team of these decoys, again, they behave so unrealistically. It's not going to be able to fool any enemies unless you're in a very close quarters situation. All round, none of these abilities feel like they're going to be able to trick anyone, which is the basis of the character. He is an assault character, I believe, and just he doesn't suit a function. And while he's not absolutely horrific, there's just so many better options that there's no reason to ever be running this character, which is why he comes in at the number 8 spot as the worst character in this game. So coming in at the number 7 spot, we have Caustic, the other paid character in this game, which kind of shows a pattern that the ones you have to pay for are really not all that good, which I guess is a good thing, because it means the ones everyone has are really damn good by comparison. So going through the abilities again and breaking down why they're just not that helpful. His passive, Nox Vision, means that when you put down his gas, you'll actually be able to see through that vision. Okay, that's just kind of a normal thing, it feels nothing special, but it is very helpful when you are using those gas abilities. His tactical is that you can place up to 6 canisters that when shot or triggered by enemies will release a deadly Nox gas. It just doesn't do that much damage. I think the particularly bad thing about this gas, and this crosses over into the ultimate too, which allows you to throw down a big cloud of gas with a grenade of this stuff and it will cover the area and it will be blinding and stuff. The thing is, it totally screws up your teammates' vision. So while you can see through this gas, your teammates cannot, which would make it a lot more helpful, I think, because it can totally screw up their vision. If your teammate is in this gas, they're actually not going to take damage for it, but it's going to drastically fuck up their aim and vision. So all round, I just don't think this character is very helpful, and it has a very negative effect on your team while not so much yourself, which I think is why it comes in at the number 7 spot. The gas isn't even that effective, and all round it's fairly weak by comparison to many others. So coming in at number 6 spot, we have everyone's favourite robot character, Pathfinder. Now Pathfinder is obviously, now we're getting into all the ones that everyone has, which is good because Pathfinder and everyone else on this list from this point on is actually a pretty damn good character that definitely has a purpose to suit within this game, which is brilliant that the characters everyone has are actually useful. So going over their abilities, their passive is actually really good. Basically it means that there's beacons on certain buildings, and these are actually marked on the map. You can go up to them and it will actually tell you where the next 2 circles are. This is a really good ability actually. It allows you to be able to prepare for where you need to be able to prepare for the circle, which is why this character is honestly pretty damn good. It's just unfortunate that their other 2 abilities are honestly not that impressive. The grappling hook is something in drastic need of a buff, and while it can be decent for helping you rushing enemies with a shotgun, all round its range is a little too pathetic to kind of suit its purpose, which is clearly to be able to help you maneuver around the map. It doesn't suit the purpose. Its range is pretty damn pathetic, it just can't shoot far enough. And then the ultimate, the Zipline, is fairly decent. However, I don't run into that many cases where it's actually useful. Basically what it allows you to do is be able to put down one of the zip lines that are found around the map. You can put one of them down between one spot and another to help your teammates connect between two areas. I personally just don't find a lot of use for this ability. It's alright, it's a decent concept, but it's just not an awfully useful ability, which is why it comes in at this spot. It's not going to help your teammate out that much. The grappling hook isn't that effective. The only thing that makes this character really good for me is that passive ability of being able to find out where the circle is, and just generally the idea of being able to rush enemies with a shotgun can be super helpful if you can land your shots with that Peacekeeper shotgun. So yeah, that comes in at the number 6 spot. So coming in at the number 5 spot, we do have Wraith. Now Wraith is the portal based character, and what they can do is pretty damn cool, honestly, some of these abilities. Firstly, their passive will let you hear a little vocal indicator when danger approaches, and this can be a little bit clever, but honestly it's rarely that helpful, and the idea of hearing gunshots and footsteps is usually a lot more helpful than this voice, in my personal opinion. And then their tactical ability is actually what makes this character stand out as pretty damn good, and why I see a lot of pro players like Avery and Noah running this character, being that when you hold the L1 button, you'll be able to reposition through the void. This will put you in a special kind of spectral vision where you'll be able to move a bit faster, and you'll be able to be invincible whilst you're in this little mode for the few seconds. And it's particularly good for being able to just hold it down and then run towards a piece of cover. It will allow you to get out of danger easily. It's great for maneuvering around the map, so say you're just running about, you suddenly start getting shot at, you can pop this ability and it will keep you alive and get you to safety, and that's the highlight of this character. The ultimate can be very good for actually helping keep the rest of your team alive. What it will allow you to do is it will allow you to link 2 portals together for a minute that will allow you and your team, but also enemies, to go through these. But the disadvantage of this portal is the portals will only place where you are standing, so you can't shoot the portal to another location. You have to be where you want the portal to place, which is what kind of sucks with this character, unfortunately. It does mean that what is cool with it is you can place your first portal and then pop the tactical mode to put you in that invincibility mode and run where you want to put the next portal down, and it can be good for getting you to safety and then placing down that portal to get the rest of your team over there safely. And that's why this character comes in at the number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4 is a character I dabbled with whether this should be number 4 or number 5, and that is Bloodhound. But it's just some of these characters' abilities, and this tracker ability on this recon character, which by the way is the only recon character in this game, is what makes them insanely good. So going over their abilities, their passive ability will mean that when you approach areas where enemies have recently been, you will see a small indicator on the screen that will show where their footsteps have been and how recently they were there, which is absolutely brilliant. The fact it shows you how recently they were there allows you to follow along the trail of their footsteps permanently, and it will alert you that enemies have been there recently to keep your eye out. This works in nicely with their tactical ability as well, their L1 ability, and what this will do is it will allow you to have a quick peek kind of through the walls to be able to see traps and enemies. This can be great, obviously seeing Caustic's gas trap, it will help you avoid that. But particularly good for the fact that you can follow along these footsteps, see where you're getting to the point where they have been there really recently, and then pop this to be able to see exactly where they are, so you and your team can get the jump on them. And then the ultimate ability is kind of like an enhanced version of that, where it'll put you in a black and white mode, where you'll just through for the duration of this, you will totally see exactly where everything around you is in the nearby radius, and that is incredibly good. It will also grant you a faster movement speed, and this can just be great for helping your team, because once you see it, you can ping the location, and then the rest of your team can be aware of where danger is nearby. This recon character is really good. I hope we see more recon type characters in the game in the future, because what we have here is really damn powerful, honestly, and it's a great team based character. Not one that would work great if they ever had solos to this game, I would say, not as much, but I'd say it's particularly good for linking in with the rest of your team. So coming at the number 3 spot is one that I've seen a lot of bigger players running, and that is Bangalore. Bangalore is possibly the #1 character for people who love to play super aggressively and mainly focus around their own getting kills and being able to stay alive and damage the enemies. So their passive ability, what it will do is when you're taking fire or when this bullet's being shot around you, you will actually go into a faster movement mode. This will actually give you a quick, knee-jerk indicator that there is enemies nearby and that you are being shot at, and this faster movement will just allow you to get to cover, which I think is what's great about this character. It's such a good passive ability, it comes in handy so often. And then her tactical ability will allow you to shoot down a smoke launcher. Now I know this is something you guys will have been seeing about, and this is how you use the smoke launcher. You just, with this character, hit one button and a smoke grenade goes down that will cloud out a whole area, and it can totally fuck up the enemies, honestly. It's perfect for being able to get a revive in, shoot it down, you can revive your teammates through that smoke and you're unlikely to be spotted. You can shoot it at the enemies to screw up their vision, you can shoot it down at the ground in front of you to be able to escape. That is just what is so good about this character, being that smoke is so versatile for so many different ways for both escaping and being more aggressive, which is why this character comes in at the #3 spot. But that ultimate is still really good. It does feel like a slightly worse version of Gibraltar's airstrike ability. What it does, it will put down these little rockets that will then gradually explode over time within a certain area. Each one will explode bit by bit, row by row, and it will gradually wipe out an area. This character is really good with this actually, because this ability can just screw with your enemy's head. It will have them panicking, have them running away, and that is just really damn good, because when they get flustered, you will find it easy to pick them off with a sniper, which is why this character comes in at the #3 spot. Coming in at #2, we do have Gibraltar. This is a very good defensive character in this game. What it will do, firstly with the passive, is that when you aim down sight, you'll have a toggleable gun shield that your enemies will actually have to break before they can get their shots in at you, which is really good, honestly. You'd be surprised how often this can come in handy. It will just mean that when you're aiming down sight, when you and your team are lining up shots trying to take down the enemy team, you're going to be taking a little bit less damage. This is toggleable. I don't know why you'd want to turn it off, but I would always keep this on, and it can really help when it comes to just generally keeping you alive. That little bit of bullet damage saved can be everything. And then their tactical ability will place down a dome shield of protection where you can't shoot out of it, which is a downside of it, but they can't shoot in it either. So you can only be shot at and take damage if bullets are actually being landed within the shield. So if someone gets into your shield, and they can just run through that, then they will be able to take you out very easily, honestly, because decent chance if you're putting this down, you're very vulnerable. This can be used greatly in conjunction with Lifeline, where you can put this down and Lifeline can then shoot down their healing drone within this so that your whole team can heal and be protected at the same time. And then that airstrike ability, just like Bangalore's, is really damn good. The difference to hers is that this airstrike will just explode immediately. Bombs will start landing at the location you've chosen, and it can just be great if you want to clear the enemies out of a particular area for whatever reason. Just put this down and it will definitely send them running, which is why this comes in at the #2 spot, because it allows you to control the gunfight and to help keep your team alive and well even better. And that is why this character is one of my favourites in the game by far. So if you haven't guessed by now, coming in at the #1 spot as the best character in the game is Lifeline. She is a medic character and she is really good at that job. Now the passive ability is pretty damn cool, being able that you'll revive, knock down teammates faster, and they'll actually put up a shield wall that will put an orb around you, only on one side though, on the front, that will keep you alive and mean you'll take less damage whilst you're trying to revive one of your teammates. You'll also be able to use heals 25% faster, which is a very nice little convenience thing. But the standout for this character is the DOC heal drone. This is a drone that you can shoot down once a minute, and as long as your teammates are standing within a certain radius of it, the drone will shoot out little wires that will attach to your team and will revive them by a decent amount of their health over time, as long as you just stand by that drone. So as I said earlier, that can be used greatly with Gibraltar's dome so that you can shoot down that dome, put the heal drone inside it to keep you safe whilst you get your whole team healed up. It reduces the need for you to be carrying heals massively. So normally I'd want to be carrying like 2 stacks of syringes. I'd say I can half that happily when I'm using Lifeline, and that applies to your whole team roughly, because if you're ever being shot at and you're low, just get behind cover and chuck this thing down and you'll be able to start healing really quick. And that ultimate ability is actually really damn cool, being that you will be able to call in a care package that will be able to give you really high tier loot. Honestly, you'll be able to get purple loot out of it, you'll be able to get gold loot out of it. This is how you can get top tier armor, heals, shields just when you need it, and that is honestly perfect because you never know when this can be needed. Honestly, you can drop this in also as a great distraction. So say later on in the game, just drop that in somewhere near your enemies and you will be able to distract them. And this thing is just can be so clutch when you don't get very good loot. Once that thing's charged up, you can call it in and often it can fix that situation. I've got gold items from this, I've got some of the best loot in the game from this package. You'll only be able to get it 2 to 3 times a game, unfortunately, but that is very well balanced, honestly, and that is why this character is by far the best one in this game. And that, guys, is going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and it has helped you out. If it has, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. I'll be bringing you guys ton more content that is going to be helping you guys become better Apex Legends players as you follow it. And yeah, I'll see you on more Apex Legends videos. Bye!